That was probably, to me, one of the coolest parts of it, because everyone in that, especially of the top guys,
Yeah.
everybody was reaching for that brass ring. Okay, so even if the hierarchy was Austin and Rock and Triple H and Kurt, myself, it's like everybody was fighting for that top spot, and that, as you know, like that kind of competition, it makes you better.
Yeah.
Because if Austin's the top guy, you want to stay on top.
Yeah.
If you're Rock coming up, like, man, I'm right there. I'm nipping at his heels. So that drives Rock to be better. It drives Stone Cold to be better, because Stone Cold wants to hang on to that number one spot. Now here you've got Kurt and Triple H right there, and it was such a awesome, healthy competition.
Yeah.
When you talk about wrestling's not a true competition, oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It truly is. It's different in the sense of how it is a competition. But man, it was like everyone, Mick, everybody was trying their best to.
At the end of a great show, especially the top guys, those top 5, 6 guys, did y'all look at each other and be like, all right, we killed it tonight, good job? Or is it more now you look, because at the time maybe it was, I'm in this competition, I don't necessarily want to, but is it now you look back at it and go, man, deep down, I was happy that this guy had a great match because it helped me out? Or was it at the time, were you saying, hey man, good job tonight, or any of that stuff?
No, yeah, everybody. There was again, there was that part in you that, man, I want to be the guy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, man, I hope he stumbles, or I hope.
Yeah.
I hope he bumbles up his promo tonight and he sucks. And it wasn't any of that, because one, we had to fight our way back to being the best, the top show.
Yeah.
And that, getting our asses kicked, through the Monday Night Wars.
That was motivation.
That freaking lit a fire under all of us.
Yeah.
And then once we finally got back to where we should be, and man, by then we were just,
I would imagine it was more those, you 5, 6 guys, it was the nights when you didn't blow the roof off the place, or maybe somebody didn't do their job. Maybe not one of them, but maybe there was somebody else that wrestled. And I would imagine it was more of, you maybe have a conversation with them of, hey, that's not going to happen again tomorrow.
Yeah,
we're gonna bring it every night.
Yeah, and for the most part, everybody during that time period was, they were
on their A game.
Yeah, they knew what their job was. They knew what they had to do, and there wasn't a lot. I'm sure there was, but there wasn't a lot of guys that were screw ups that showed up and were messed up and didn't do a little bit of it, not a lot. There was a pride. We took a lot of pride in the fact that we got our asses stomped in the ratings by the other company, and that crew of guys that brought it back took a lot of pride in the fact that we did, and then obviously we put the other company out of business.
Yeah. And you look at how many Hall of Famers came out of that time period as well. I mean, it was
everybody. It was just stacked, right?
Yeah. It was inevitable that you guys were going to.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
No. It truly was just a matter of time. You knew. You knew down there. You could just see it. There was too many egos. There were too many. There were too many chiefs and not enough, there wasn't enough soldiers there, and it was going to implode.
Yeah.
And it did. And, but it was great. It was absolutely the best thing that ever happened, I think, to professional wrestling. Was the Monday Night Wars.
Absolutely.
It was probably us getting our asses handed to us was the best thing that ever happened.
It's competition brings out the best in everybody.
Again, yeah, and before that, we had to, and we still have to create our own competition.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody that's a true competitor, man, that was fun, man.
Yeah. And I think even, speaking on that part, I mean, what ECW did and Paul Heyman and all that stuff, I mean, it just, all of that was really good for the sport.
Yeah.
And that's where, it made you better. It made your colleagues better in that locker room. It lit that fire under you, made you want to, beat those guys. And then once I think y'all were able to get all the pieces together, and but I just think that what y'all did with the ministry and everything else, and just that whole little time period of wrestling, I think is very interesting.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Like, because you came out of that, we got there was a couple of time periods in there, like when Hogan left and Nash left and Razor left, and the guys, us that stayed behind, man, business was, tough. It was tough, man. It really was.
And it's hard because what they're doing. They're going down there. They're getting paid. They got a little bit lighter of a schedule.
A lot lighter of a schedule. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is like, in hindsight, you go, man, I can't really blame them.
No. But you have to. Everybody has to make the decision that's right for them.
Yeah.
And if you can make as much money or more money and do less work in a job that requires physical output, and your body is your tool. I mean, it's just something you really have to sit down and evaluate. Like, and I don't know if my situation had been different, if WCW hadn't have told me that I wasn't going to draw any money, I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's interesting to think about. Yeah.
But the fact that they told me, you're never going to make money, that was always my chip. That was always the chip that I carried on my shoulder. And, even when they called and I'm say, hey, I remember Nash calling me. He said, man, I think I can get you this if you want to come down. And I was like, wow, that's a lot more money than I'm making right now.
So you got the call from Nash.
Oh yeah.